Hi everybody, welcome back to series from Credence Learning Foundation. In the last video, we discussed about a child's mental health. Now in this video, we'll try to understand few basic aspects of a child's development, how the development happens, and how a child from a simple, very innocent person and a person who knows very less facts about the world, how he acquires those knowledge and how this person experiences those things. And very important aspect of today's video will be to understand why children are different, even though a child will be a sibling being born in the same family, and his upbringing is being taken care at the same home, and the sibling might be going to the same school, but again we see the differences between those children. So we'll try to understand why the children are different from each other. You take any two children from the world, throughout the countries, or from a particular village or from a particular city, you can find differences within children. Why children are different? So we'll try to look upon those aspects. So I'll quickly go through today's discussion. First of all, we'll try to understand the various developmental stages, and if you look at the second aspect of our discussion, we'll be discussing about periods of child development. So if you look at a child's age from before birth to the adolescence is the teenage. Broadly, we can classify those stages of children into 5 types. First is prenatal period, infancy, childhood, early childhood, middle childhood, and adolescence. So this is our topic. And the third topic will be understanding why children are different. So we'll try to look at the individual differences, factors which contribute to individual differences. Then a few aspects on the importance of play for a child. So let us quickly come back to our first slide. So here, if you look at the person stages in this video, can you see roughly we can see 7 stages of a person. If you look at the first stage, a child is not able to sit, and at the second stage child is trying to stand, and if you look at the third stage, child is trying to walk or run a little, and if you look at the fourth stage, child is able to lead a normal life, walking normally, running normally. And if you look at the next stages, a child is grown up as a from teenager, probably he's grown up to a young adult, then again adult, and again old age. So this is the stages of life a person goes through. And the people who study about human development, or more of psychology, they try to understand people from individual stage. So the people who work on these stage-wise aspects of understanding humans are stage psychologists, stage theorists. So Piaget is one of the stage theorists who works on the research of children by dividing them into stages. So these all about the so now let us summarize. So this is all about child being a child, and again following the stages of development, then how the child within 60-70 years reaches to old age. So this is the stages of development. And if you look at the next stage, so now we'll try to peculiarly look at the children's development within teenage. And if you look at the child's periods of development, so roughly there are 5 periods. First is prenatal period. So this period occurs before birth. And the second stage is infancy. This infancy stage is from 0 to 3 years. As soon as the child is born, till 3 years is the infancy stage. And the third stage is early childhood. This early childhood is very important. This is the actual period where children start going to school. The age 3 is usually children start going to nursery, or after 3 it could be LKG, and within 6 years of age, a child is almost reaches to first standard. So 3 to 6 is very important age, and this is the age where children's development is happening in an enormous speed. The child's physical growth, the child's bones growth, the child's mental growth, or the child's thinking, the child's understanding of the world, these all will be a lot of progressing. And if you look at the opportunities, before 3 years child is getting opportunity to learn only at home. But if you look at the child's opportunity after 3 years, the child has started learning from two sides. The child is learning at home as well as outside home. And the first stage is middle childhood. Middle childhood is more of a child's stage where the child is in a primary school. And the the last stage in this discussion is adolescence. This adolescence period is very important. Adolescence, in common sense, common word, it is known as a teenage. So what is special about these stages? So we have discussed about prenatal period as a first stage. Prenatal period is very important, where a child is being developed before coming to the world. So the child's all the processes are taking place, and the child's physical development is happening, mental growth is happening, neural connections are being developed, all these developments are happening. So the kind of food a child gets before birth, a kind of environment a child gets, and the kind of environment a mother gets when the child is still not come to earth, a child is being developed, the experiences the mother and the child gets, it's very important for child's development. So actually speaking, the development is happening before the child is even entered to the earth. So this is an important factor to look at here, this place. And infancy period is very important, where 0 to 3 years is very important, where child tries to understand close relations. Child might be, if you see most of the children, they'll not go to a stranger. If a stranger calls them, most of the children they do not go to stranger. But when a mother or a father calls, a child will be very happy to come to father, mother, or a grandparent, or it could be close uncles. Why? Children are trying to understand what is close relationship, what is not so close relationship. So these understandings children are able to make in this infancy period. Children start differentiating in this 0 to 3 years. Children start differentiating between big and small. Children start differentiating between colors. So this is for us it could be very simple. We can say, okay, this is a very basic knowledge. But for children, understanding the differences between color and understanding the differences between shapes, understanding the difference between thick, thin, it's a huge knowledge for children. That is the base for them to understand. Yeah, they're trying to understand the world around them. And the third stage is early childhood. The speciality of this period is the brain growth is too fast in this period. So a child starts learning literacy, your numeracy, your alphabets, and all the concepts at school. So it's a base for a child to understand all those concepts at school. And one more very important aspect of early childhood period is, as per psychology, 0 to 6 years is the window of opportunity. 0 to 6 years of a child's life is called as window of opportunity. Child's 90% of the brain grows within 6 years. You will be shocked to listen this. Yeah, actually 90% of the brain grows within 6 years. So after 6 years, only the 10% of the brain has to be grown. So there's an enormous opportunity to develop child's character, to make sure that child understand what is good, what is bad, what is morality, how to help others, how to behave others, how to respond others, how to help others, how to respect elders. All these things have to be taught in this period. And here the role of a mother is very important. There's a famous proverb which says, children do not listen to us, they follow us. So if you want to have a certain character in our children, as a parent we should build that model in ourselves, so that children can follow us as a model. So when we do some act of charity, when we behave with respect with others, and also with children, when we are engaging with them, when we give respect to them, by calling them with respect, by responding them with respect, again they'll give back to us the same respect. It's not an harm when a child asks you, a 5-year child asks you to get a glass of water. There's nothing harm. Please get a glass of water. There's nothing harm. A child tells you to remove his shoes at the age of 6 or 7. It's not an harm. Just remove it. And today you are helping him, and the day comes when he understands how to help not only you. He'll learn to understand. He learns to help the entire world and the people, and he will be showing compassion, empathy, not only to the family, not only to the society, the immediate society. He will be concerned towards the entire humanity. Yeah, this is the real period where parents can be very conscious to be a role model. Like it's like however you want your. So this was about uh, early childhood, and the middle childhood is this is the period where children actually start their primary classes. So here children gets a lot of influence from their friends. They get a lot of influence from teachers. It could be a auto uncle while he's going to school and coming back to school. Actually, this is the period where there are a lot of influences happening on a child. So a good environment is very important for a child. Having a good friends, having good neighbors, and having a good company within the close relatives. So it's very important period for a child's development. And actually, if you look at the adolescence, this is the real period children really start thinking. This is the period where the influence on them is too much. The the period which is called teen, 13 to 19, is very critical, where there are a lot of influence. And this is the period children might start getting into smoking habit. Children might start getting into some other kind of not acceptable behaviors. Yeah. So this is a very situation where parents have to be very conscious. It's not about you know it's not about telling them to this, do this, not to do that, this. It's not about what is good, what is bad. It's not for us to tell them what is good, what is bad. It is for us to make them understand what is good, what is bad. It is for us to make them take decisions what is good, what is bad. Then they do not need you to take decisions on what is good, what is bad. Yeah. You develop your children in such a way that they take decisions themselves, looking at the situation, what is good, what is bad for them, considering the entire factors. Yeah. So these are the very critical factors in a child's development. And yeah, before going to the next slide, I like to ask you, do we see differences in children? Yes, we see physical differences in children. We see intellectual differences in children. Yeah, their thinking of the children is not the same. The class, to drill a little down, the performance of the children in class is not the same. Yes, the IQ is not the same. The IQ is not the same. The behavior of children is not the same. The habits of children are not the same. What makes them different? Yes. Yes, come to the next slide. Sorry. Yeah, if you look at this slide, you can see 3 apples. One is green apple, other one is yellowish, and the third one is the red apple. So when you quickly look at the reasons behind apple to be different, we can think of 2 reasons. Yes, one is the source of development, second is individual difference. So the first of all, let us think about apple. Why these apples are different? So if I ask you a question on this, you might say apple is different because the biology, the genes of apple is different. The environment where the apple is been produced is different, and the air quality of that particular region is different. The soil quality of that particular region is different, and the trees quality of that particular region is different. Yeah, there are a lot of differences for apple to be different, right? Soil is different, the nature of tree is different, the genetics of tree is different. So as apple has got different kinds of genetics and different kind of soil and environment, so the apple became different in that particular region. So this is one of the example I'm giving you to make you understand. Like this, children get lot of different experiences. So to clear the point a little, there are two things. One is nature, other thing is nurture. Nature is something connected to DNA and genetics, which we cannot change, which is from the creator. That is nature. And nurture is where the children get habits, where the children get developed by their parents, teachers, and the environment. So nurture is, it's more about, you know, how the children is how the character is being built by the environment. Environment could be teachers, parents, friends. So to clarify this concept, there are two things. One is nature, other thing is nurture. Nature is from DNA, genetics. We cannot change or influence it more. Yes, some of the habits can be changed, but it cannot be changed too much. Suppose a person's attitude of being angry, or a person's attitude of helping others, yeah, positively, if a person is helping others, also he could bring this from his DNA. Yeah. In the next coming series, let us try to understand nature and nurture very deeply. So I don't want to go in depth of nature and nurture. So this is an example for you to understand, as apples can be different because of their nature and nurture. Yeah, the nature of the apple is different, the nurture of the apple is different. Yeah, because of the adults are different. So can we accept our children when they are different with each other? Because of nature and nurture, we cannot expect we cannot expect all the children to perform at the same level, and we cannot expect all the children to have same behaviors. Yeah. So this makes us understand, yes, the individual differences are by default. So where the nature and nurture is involved. And what can you do as a parent or as a teacher? Yeah, give lots of opportunities for children to explore. Yeah, let the children play, let the children make friendship, let the children may do a lot of exposure, let the children do a lot of experience. So playing is very important. You know, the children should feel relaxed, children should get a time to understand themselves, and children should get understand the other people, and the children should get time to understand others in their context. And it's very important for children to engage with many people, have a lot of experiences. So children should get a sufficient time to play, to meet with people. So this opportunity should be given by parents. Yeah. So the other important concept is when children are growing up, so it's very important that we should have a friendly relationship with children. So it's not that do this, do that. We should not have that kind of relationship. The relationship should be very cordial, very affectionate relationship, where you should be able to share things with children, and children should be able to share things with you. So I'm not telling you should not be like a father mother child relationship. I'm not telling that. I'm just telling you, can we have a kind of relationship where the child and the parent feels comfortable within themselves to discuss things, where they can share with each other, where they can take help from each other. A kind of a friendly relationship we should develop with our children, where children should be open enough to share things with us. Yeah. So this was something about the child's development stages, and to understand why children are different. So in the coming series, let's try to go in depth of the understanding of nature and nurture. Once again, thank you for watching this learning series on Credence Learning Foundation. Thank you. Thanks a lot.